Alright, welcome in today's class. In this video, you're gonna learn how to get ahead of 99% of people before 2026 starts. If you keep telling yourself you will get serious next year, 2026 will arrive and you will still be stuck in the same habits, income, and body as today. This is for you if you know you're capable of more, but you keep getting eaten by distraction, half finished plans, and fake busyness. Because the people who win next year are the ones who quietly build their routines, offers, and focus now, while everyone else waiting for January motivation. In the next 30 days, you will create a Return 2026 roadmap, a non negotiable daily routine, a simple tracking system, and one real project in motion, putting you ahead of 99% of people who are still talking about changing. If you don't do this now, 2026 will be another copy of this year, only with more regret and fewer real options. By the end of this video, you will have a daily structure that protects your most important work from constant interruption, 3 automatic systems running without needing motivation, clear 30-day roadmap with specific actions for each week, and the exact input-output ratio that separate creators from consumers. Most people finish their day exhausted but can't name 3 things they actually accomplished. You are busy from morning to night, responding to messages, attending meeting, putting out fire. But when you look at the week, you can't point to anything meaningful that moved forward. Here's what's happening. Your day is structured around reaction, not creation. You wake up and immediately check your phone, which means you're letting other people priorities dictate your first hour. Then you spend rest of the day in reactive mode, emails, Slack messages, unexpected requests, and by the time when you have a free moment, you are too drained to do the work that actually matters. The reason this keeps happening is because you never defined what your day is supposed to produce. Without a clear structure, every request feels like important, so you treat them all the same. You say yes to the meetings because you don't have a system for saying no. You check social media between tasks because you haven't created dedicated focus block. Now some people argue that flexibility is important. Rigid schedule kills creativity. But here's the truth. Structure doesn't kill creativity, it protects it. When you have a clear blocks for deep work, you're not scrambling to find time. You already have it. When you know your 3 priorities for the day, you can evaluate every request against them. Structure gives you permission to say no to everything that doesn't serve your actual goals. Think about this way. If you don't control your calendar will control you. Every notification, every request, every distraction will fill the space you leave empty. The people who are making real progress, they aren't working harder. They are working on them. Right things at the right time because they have designed their day to support that. When you fix your daily structure first, everything else gets easier. You stop feeling guilty about saying no because you know exactly what you are saying yes to, and your energy goes towards building instead of reacting. But even a perfect daily structure won't help if you are building towards the wrong thing. You set goals every month, maybe every quarter, and they sound great on paper. Lose 20 pounds, launch a product, grow your audience to 10,000, and 3 months later, you are still in the same exact place, setting the same goals again with slightly different wordings. The problem isn't your goal, it's that goals don't create change. Systems do. A goal tells you where you want to end up, but a system tells you what to do today. When you focus only on goals, you are motivated for about a week, then life happens and the motivation fades. You miss a few days, feel bad about it, and eventually give up until the next time you feel inspired enough to try again. Here's the actual mechanism. Goals are binary outcome. Either you hit them or you don't. But systems are daily behavior that compounds. If your goal is to lose 20 pounds, you're you're either successful or you are not. And for the most of the journey, you are technically failing. But if your system is to eat protein every meal and walk 30 minutes daily, you're succeeding every single day, regardless of what the scale says. Most people resist this because it feels less exciting. Goals have a finish line, system don't. Goals give you something to post about. Systems are just boring daily repetition. But that's exactly why system works and goals don't. Systems remove the needs for constant motivation because they become automatic. Consider someone who wants to write the book. The goal-focused person says, I'll write a book this year and waits for inspiration. The system-focused person says, I write 500 words every morning at 6 a.m. and has a draft in 3 months. Same outcome, completely different approach. One relies on feeling motivated and the other relies on showing up regardless of how they feel. The real shift happens when you stop asking, what do I want to achieve? And start asking, what kind of person do I need to become? You need to ask the right question. Then you build the daily behavior the person would have. When you shift from goals to system, you remove the pressure of outcomes and replace it with the satisfaction of daily progress. You stop waiting to feel successful and start being successful every day you follow your system. Of course, none of this matters if you are drowning in information and never actually producing anything. You're consuming too much information and producing too little. Cut inputs and increase outputs. You follow hundreds of people on social media, subscribe to dozens of newsletters, listen to podcasts during every commute, and save articles you never read. You tell yourself it's research, that you are learning, that you need to stay informed. But when was the last time you actually created something with all that information? Just ask yourself this question. Here's what's really going on. Consumption feel like progress, but it's not. Reading another article, watching another video, listening to another expert, it all creates the illusion that you are moving forward. Your brain gets hit of novelty and you feel productive. But at the end of the month, you have consumed thousands of pieces of content and produced nothing. The reason this trap is so effective is because consuming is easy, producing is hard. Consuming requires no risk. If the article is bad, you just close it. Producing requires you to put something into the world that might be criticized, ignored, or rejected. So your brain naturally gravitates towards the safe option, and you rationalize it by calling it learning and getting inspired. But here's the hard truth, you already know enough to start. You don't need another course, another framework, another expert opinion. What you need is to take what you already know and do something with it. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't closed by consuming more, it's closed by producing more. Some people say they need to learn before they can create. That's true when you're a complete beginner. But most people passed that stage years ago. You're not lacking information, you are lacking execution. Every hour you spend consuming is an hour you're not spending building, writing, creating, or shaping. Think about the people you admire in your field. They are not consuming more than you, they are producing more than you, definitely. They have cut their inputs down to a few trusted sources and spend the rest of the time making things. They learn by doing, not by studying. When you cut your consumption by 80% and redirect that time towards output, you will produce more in 1 month than you did in the previous year. Your skills will improve faster because you are practicing instead of just reading about practice. The next 30 days aren't about learning more, but they are about doing more with what you already know. Now that you understand what's holding you back, here's exactly what to do in the next 30 days to get ahead of 99% of people. Audit your time. Track everything you do for 2 full days in 30 minutes block. Don't change your behavior, just write it down. At the end of 2 days, look at where your time actually went. You will probably find out 60 to 70% of your day is spent reacting to other people's priorities. Design your structure. Block out your calendar for the next 4 weeks right now. Start with non negotiable 2 hours of deep work every morning from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., whichever works for you. Then add your three daily priorities, the tasks that actually move your goals forward. Everything else fills the gap. If someone asks for a meeting during your deep work blocks, the answer is no. Implement and adjust. Follow your new structure for 3 days. It will feel uncomfortable because you are breaking old habits. You'll want to check your phone first thing in the morning. Don't. You'll want to say yes to meetings during your focus time. Don't. By the day 7, notice how much more you accomplished compared to the previous week. This is what happens when structure protects your energy instead of draining it. Week 2, build your systems. This week, you are going to stop setting goals and start building the daily behavior that achieve them. No more motivation required, just clear system that run automatically. Identify the three priorities. Write down the three most important outcomes you want by the end of 2026. Be specific, not get healthier, but weight. 180 pounds with visible muscle definition. Not grow my business, but generate $10,000 monthly recurring revenue. Not build an audience, but have 5,000 engaged email subscribers. Now, for each priority, ask what kind of person achieved this outcome? What are their daily behaviors? Design your system. For each priority, create one simple daily behavior. If your priority is fitness, your system is lift weights for 45 minutes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If your priority is revenue, your system is reach out to 5 potential clients every weekday at 9 a.m. If your priority is audience, your system is publish one valuable piece of content every day at 2 p.m. Make each behavior so specific that you can answer yes or no. Did I do it today? Start tracking. Create a simple spreadsheet or use a habit tracker. Every day, mark yes or no for each behavior. Don't worry about results yet. Just focus on consistency. Your only job this week is to follow your system, not to see outcomes. The outcomes will come later. Right now, you are building the muscle of showing up, regardless of how you feel. In week 3, cut inputs and increase outputs. This week is about breaking your information addiction and redirecting that energy towards creation. You're going to feel uncomfortable at first, that's the point. The purge. Go through every app on your phone and every subscription in your email. Unfollow 80% of the accounts you follow on social media. Unsubscribe from newsletter you haven't read in the last month. Delete apps you check out of habits, not purpose. Remove YouTube and Twitter from your phone if you need to. By end of the day, 16, your information diet should be down to 3 to 5 trusted sources maximum. If you feel anxious about missing out, that's your brain adjusting to less dopamine. Push through it. Daily creation commitment. For the next 13 days through day 30, you're going to create and shape one thing every single day: a social media post, a page of writing, a video, a piece of code, a design, anything that didn't exist before you sat down. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be good. It just has to be done and public. Start a thread or a document where you post your daily outputs. The goal is volume, not quality. Quality comes from volume. Consumption rules. Set hard boundaries around when you're allowed to consume content. No phone or social media before 12 p.m. No content consumption after 8 p.m. If you want to read or learn something, it happens during designated windows only, maybe 12 p.m. or maybe 12 to 1 p.m. during your lunch or 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the evening. Outside those windows, you are in creation mode. If you catch yourself reaching for your phone out of habit, redirect that energy towards your daily output instead. The final week is about reviewing what worked, cutting what didn't, and setting yourself up to continue this momentum into January. This is where most people quit. You're going to push through it. Weekly review. Look back at the last 3 weeks. Which systems did you follow consistently? Which ones did you skip? For the ones you skipped, ask why. Was the behavior too complicated? Was the time wrong? Or was it not actually aligned with what you want? Adjust or delete any system that isn't working for you. Keep the ones that are. Simplicity beats complexity always. Refine your structure. Now that you have lived with your new daily structure for 3 weeks, make final adjustments. Maybe your deep work blocks need to be earlier or later. Maybe you just need 90 minutes instead of 2 hours. Maybe you just need a batch of certain tasks on a specific days. Fine tune based on what you need. Then lock it in for the next 90 days. No more changes after day 28. Just execute. From day 27 to 30, plan your next year. Plan January. On day 27, open your calendar, block out January exactly like you have been doing. Deep work blocks, system time, creation window, all of it goes on the calendar now. On day 28, review your 3 priorities and make sure they are still the right ones for you. On day 29, look at your daily outputs from the last 2 weeks and identify patterns. What type of content or work felt most natural? Double down on that in January. On day 30, write one paragraph of reflection. What changed in the last 30 days? How do you feel different? What are you proud of? Save this somewhere, you'll see it when the motivation dips in February. By December 31st, you'll have a daily structure that protects your most important work. Free system running automatically, no motivation needed. 15 plus pieces of public work you created and shipped. Complete control over your attention and information diet. A clear plan for January while everyone else is still getting back into it. This isn't about working harder. It's about working on the right things in the right order with the right structure supporting you. Most people waste these 30 days. You are not most people anymore. If this helped you to see things differently, follow for more straight talks about what actually works. Until then, see you in the next video. Have fun.